is a rotation nurse, reported her injury to the hospital the day after the incident. That's on the 18th, and was further treated. There was no evidence of fracture on her left wrist.
We do live to see. And then say we as an okay assembly two so and I say if you say obiaye bibia abusua hweye, because the rate at which and send me by you can see some Ghanaians, typically those at the health sector almost started saying more bashe rap any other adini abusua say na entro. Whatever happened at the Ridge Hospital, ladies and gentlemen, you can see say a certain nurse much as an insane then Rafa Bonan, Abusia, the question is, at the end of the day, is the committee the one line and answer say? And then this time around, we are waiting for the Ghana Nurses and Midwife and One for Association, especially their secretary. Bemen Munyam for TV Bettina radio so and I said TV so count in Zambia like you be there. You even think of say, are these the graduates and then the grad ones that we are having within the system? Here is the BJ show. Do want to subscribe, share the link, so others about the BJ show. And the next thing is you do want to leave a comment. Now, not long ago, an incident happened at the Ridge Hospital, whereby you could see, say, Raf. We all know Raf to be a youth activist. Say, you can see, say, Raf almost attacking nurse maybe, and our assaulting our bone and a whole lot. Now, after said this incident happened, the health minister, Honorable Kando, set up a committee to investigate this whole thing. Now, at the end of the day, the committee has presented their findings, and then they even made some recommendations. In fact, security system, a form kakra, and then Sebi, commemorate CCTV, so adults more, and then the nurses, and I say doctors, and I say workers, they are also few. So if they are going to add some people, it is going to help the system as well. Now the committee also went on to say, in fact, nurse nina what they bandage nothing went wrong with anyone. Here is the video show. When the committee was presenting the whole findings to the health minister, the health minister this time around, after better because some of the attack are not
It's a rotation nurse, reported her injury to the hospital the day after the incident. That's on the 18th, and was further treated. There was no evidence of fracture on her left wrist or dislocation of her right shoulder joint as documented by the medical records. She was, however, had been treated at the time we visited. Had been given some pain relief. It has been recommended for a bed rest and also has received psychological support care. The third objective, the state of security at the hospital at the time of the incident. Honorable Minister, the committee finds out that the security at the emergency department was grossly inadequate at the time of the incident. The hospital security arrangement of one private security personnel per 12-hourly shift at the emergency is inadequate, considering the volume of human traffic at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital emergency. A police post that is found at the premise of the hospital, but situated far away from the emergency, is also of concern. And the system is that anytime they have such altercation, the hospital has to rely on Adabraka Police Command to call for help. And that's exactly what happened in this instance. The last but not the least objective was that the committee also found that the number of staff on duty per shift in the hospital was woefully inadequate. The number of medical officers in the month of August is 1 doctor per shift. That's 3 medical officers per day who are permanently working in emergency, supported by 1 specialist per day. Any other doctors who come there as a team to attend to cases and go away. A total of 7 medical officers and 2 specialists were available on duty for a month of August as emergency room permanent staff. We also found out that, for example, out of 88 nursing staff who routinely work at the emergency department every month, Only 54 are currently on duty at posts, with about 34 of them already vacated posts for various reasons. This has brought extreme shortage in the number of nursing staff who also support the emergency medical doctors. Honorable Minister, apart from the four main things, there were other findings that we want to bring to your attention. The committee also visited the nurse in question, the rotation nurse, Ms. Chocho Rejoice, who was alleged to have been physically attacked and was receiving care at the hospital. When the committee visited, indeed, we saw the patient in bed. The document available to us from the medical record, as I already said, had no indication of fracture or dislocation of the said staff. And he has received some psychological support as well. The committee was able to chance on the specialist who also attended to her at the ward at the time we visited. And at that time, the staff had been discharged to go home and come for review. We also found that the emergency department of the hospital, Honorable Minister, is an extremely busy place with a lot of human traffic and clients seeking care at the same time. And almost 100% occupancy at all times. It means that every time the beds are almost all full at reach. It also received most of the trauma and acute referrals across the whole region, especially in the nearby areas where they don't have any medical facility, for example, La. And most of this traffic all flow to Reach as a primary source of care during emergency. The last observation was that Mr. Opon, who was alleged to have been knocked down and who was brought into the emergency, and that called for the rest of others coming in, has also been seen, treated and discharged at the hospital. At the time we visited, he was fully conscious. He communicated fluently to us and had no obvious challenge when we went there. However, they have diagnosed him as having a base of skull fracture and yet to come for review on OPD basis to be seen. Honorable Minister, when we met as a committee, we received in-person witnesses. One of the persons we invited is Mr. Ralph St. Williams to come and testify to the committee. He agreed to come, but on the day of our appointment, he called with the lawyer that he would love to make a statement for the committee to use instead of being there personally for his own personal reason. So the committee agreed to receive a statement and evidence from him and his lawyer. Honorable Minister, I must say that I have just a brief summary of what he presented. The exhibits are all attached as a full document for your review and understanding. From his statement copy that is attached to our report, the witness stressed that his distress and frustration was escalated by a nurse who made provocative remarks in the context of emergency, and this triggered his response. He also stated that at no point did he physically assault any medical staff or witness any person from among the bikers assaulting a hospital staff. He also made another assertion that no patient was intentionally filmed or videoed or targeted as his recording, because everything he did was targeted toward the delay, and that he thought the committee and any other person must have that urgent concern to see. And the last submission we've had from his 6-pager report, that he has submitted 4 video exhibits, including a Facebook live video, as evidence to assist the committee, and the committee actually gone through and you have given a report in your recommendation. So, Honorable Minister, permit me to just make 1 or 2 recommendations, and the rest are found in your full report. With respect to Greater Accra Regional Hospital Emergency Department, that is REACH Emergency Department, it's imperative that the following measures must be considered at your Honorable Office to, as a matter of urgency, to forestall any future recurrence. 1, we need to improve, there must be improvement in security presence at the emergency, the ambulance triage area, by adding at least 1 personnel more at the gate and ensuring that the gates at the ED are always manned by security personnel. Additionally, we also propose that the CCTV cameras around is very limited to some of the care areas. And so we propose that if it is not for any privacy, they should add on some more CCTV to give evidence, and also ensure that the staff will know that somebody is monitoring them in their work. Also, the police office present at the mortuary area, we propose that at least at the weekends or night duties, the police must be present to support the emergency security, to just back up the two private securities they have. Number two, Honorable Minister, we also recommend that you take immediate steps to support the recruitment of additional clinical staff. For Greater Accra Regional Hospital, we focus on staff who will support emergency care. The next recommendation was that you also address to restore the capacity of Greater Accra Regional Hospital in providing imaging services. For example, X-ray, CT scan, MRI, which are all 40 at the moment. And we believe that that is actually some of the gaps that is perceived to be delaying care at the emergency, even though doctors normally attend to clients on time. But the services for imaging is done outside. And then the fourth recommendation, Honorable Minister, was to appeal to your office to recruit additional administrative managers to serve as client service officers or customer care staff at the emergency department. We find that most of the time people come in there, but the customer care and client services is lacking. So people come in and get stranded, they don't know what to do. Whilst the emergency staff are also busily attending to patients. So we need to beef up the client service aspect of the emergency care. Other recommendations we added on, Honorable Minister, was to build human resource capacity for holistic emergency care in the country. This one goes beyond reach. And then when we are able to build that capacity for emergency care, it will minimize the rushing of people to the regional hospitals and then the pressure we are seeing now. We also recommend that we increase the number of secondary level facilities in every region. For example, Greater Accra may have 3 or 4 in addition to reach. And when these are done, it will also minimize the influx of emergencies all coming to reach, as we have been observing. We also recommend that we put measures in place to enable health facilities to acquire reasonably priced diagnosis or radiological equipment. That's what we call PPP arrangement, to facilitate timely patient care and reduce delays that needs referral to other places to have investigation. The last but not the least, Honorable Minister, the committee recommend that you provide avenue for continuous engagement and sensitization to the public. Many a time the public doesn't know what the emergency even does or what we do in the hospitals. So when they find themselves in that environment, they most of the time don't understand the dynamics. So we believe that if you have any avenue to educate public on radio, on television, or the ministry, it will be an avenue to allay fears and also educate the public on what the self people do. The last but not the least, we also want to look at the implementing agency, the Ghana Health Service, must immediately effect or support the nationwide emergency care. Their activity of building a customer care must be intensified, and then also ensure that health staffs actually adhere to the protocols of the profession. This will bring back the perceived loss of confidence the community may have in emergency services in the country. In conclusion, Honorable Minister, the above mentioned observations and recommendations may be addressed to prevent any such occurrences, as we have said, in our health facilities, Greater Accra region and Ghana at large. So the committee ended by saying that we support all the few things that we have proposed. There must be a training for security presence at all emergencies. Government or the ministry must address shortages of health staff, re-equipment, retooling.
So that's Ghana for us, and then this is the country that we are all building. Just a year bomb pies or mine, we will get some people at the end of the day. Just said you move biano sebi nyansa bieni. So if say according to the committee, they are telling us say nurse nino hana. The question is, didn't na nurse nini yes sir? And then aside that, it seems like say they wanted the Ghana Nursing One Association, they also wanted something. Now, was this politically motivated or what? And I said they wanted to see the weak aspect of the health minister. But the health minister, on the more serious note, has become like tolerant towards the Ghana Nursing One for a whole secretary to come out to tell the minister of health, say Sebi, wayɛ ne ho sɛ obi a ɔkɔ afuom. How can you say this? In fact, do you even respect farmers? Memu nyinaa sisi hɔnom at the end of the day saa ka kyerɛ yɛ sɛ woba abɛto yɛ wɔ hospital. Hey, the country called Ghana. Here is the BJ show. Do what to subscribe, share the link, tell others about the BJ show, and the next thing is you do what to leave a comment.